Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I've got 3 replays for you in the tier 7 tech tree Swedish tank destroyer, the IKV 90B. So the IKV 90B, before we start the replays, I'll just show you the equipment and the perks I run on this tank. So I've got camo neck, advanced gun lane drive and optics. And on the perks I run sort of pretty predominant camo setup. So I've got born leader, rapid reload, 6th sense, steady aim, silent driving, camouflage expertise, muffled shot, green thumb and situational awareness. So very strong sort of camouflage tank destroyer setup on the perks, just because I want to make this tank as stealthy as possible, and you will see why in some of these videos. We do get let up by the brass there, but to be expected. Brass has got fantastic view range, and we're not, we haven't got a bush in sort of, or any foliage in between us, so chances of me getting lit are going to be sort of quite strong. In the first video here we are on Hidden Village, so not really a great map for a TD, but it's good but not terrible. Yeah, it's not great, but is what it is, and we can kind of make this map work, to be fair. It could be worse, could be Himmelsdorf or something like that, where no chance of sort of actually being able to get any shots off whatsoever. But you can see there we've got this bush and a bit of foliage in the way, and we're shooting at this tier 7 and he's got no idea where we are, and we're just able to sort of get shots in, as many shots in as possible. And yeah, so the IKV 90B has got fantastic concealment. It's got okay view range, but you can make it work as a spotter. If you don't have any light tanks and you've got quite an open map, you can make it work. The mobility is absolutely fantastic. You've got 65 kilometers an hour forward speed with 20 kilometers backward speed. It's got very good DPM. It's got great power to weight ratio. So you can get to those top speeds quite quickly. You can move about. Traverse speeds are very good. It's got great accuracy. You've got 10 degrees of gun depression. Nice shell velocity on the AP rounds as well. You have absolutely zero armor, but it is a very, very good TD. Very good. And you haven't got the armor, and you've not got the siege mode either. Siege mode starts with the UDES 03 at tier 8. So you don't have that luxury of getting into siege mode and potentially sort of having a little bit of armor through siege mode. You've got nothing, so you do get hit. You are going to get hit hard. Also has a tendency to set on fire quite a lot, I've noticed. But that being said, there's just so many good points about this tank, and for me it is very underrated. It's chalk and cheese. There's a lot of people that don't like it, can't get used to it. For me, however, it's one of my favourite TDs in the game. Hands down, absolutely one of my favourites. Loved every minute of playing this tank, and I still, like I say, still have played it from time to time. I thought it hasn't actually had its own feature on the channel, which is quite surprising considering it's one of my favourites. I have done a guide to grind on the Swedish tank destroyer line a long time ago, sometime last year, which it did feature then, obviously, but that was just sort of one replay at tier 7. So I thought, well, do you know what, I love it that much, I'm going to take it for a run out, and I'm going to sort of do a proper video on it and a good rundown and give you some good replays on it. So that's what I've done. So anyway, on Hidden Village, it's not been the most wow of games, to be honest, but we are going to start racking up the damage now, and we've moved through the town. We've kind of cleared the town out. We're going to try and get the rear of this huntsman here, and we're going to hopefully be able to put him down to a one-shot, which we do. Can we finish him off for the kill? It just gets behind some rubble there. Not sure if we can get the shot. Unfortunately, we just hit a slant there. I might be able to take him out. We do. Luckily managed to get the kill. Now we need to move up and focus on the last remaining tanks here, so we can get a little bit of damage out. Now these heavy tanks are sort of hard aiming this T-44 here. Can't quite get any shots in, but then this Barras goes yellow now. Unfortunately, it just stops before we get the shot off. I'm hoping that it will come up here. The majority of our team are heading over there, but yeah, trying to get a shot in at the moment is a little bit of a struggle. I'm just waiting for this Barras to pop up. That I thought, you know what, I think the Barras is pretty much dead, so I'm going to try and go for artillery and see if we can potentially get some shots into artillery and take them out. We do get a shot in there. Probably should have switched over to the HE, but I thought probably no point because it's going to get taken out. Now the Barras decides to come and he's just trying to get out there. We get a shot in. Can we get another shot before he gets away? We can. I think he's on reload, which is why he doesn't seem to be aiming us, which is great. But now we're going to show the really good mobility. Well, we was, but the GW Panther decided he'd had enough of the Barras shenanigans and gets a shot on him. Fair play. We finish the game and we get 2.8k damage with 710 assists. Only the 1 kill, but picking up the first class medal. And that's just a little taste of what the IKV is about. So it wasn't much of a wow game, and most of the damage came at the end there, but it's one of those where you do kind of need the patience to pay off. But anyway, we're going to move on to Mountain Pass. Now this really isn't a favourable map for the IKV. Any tank destroyer, if I'm honest, unless it's sort of a heavily armed one like a T95 or an E4 or a Tortoise, then yeah, you could probably say he'd get away with that. But for the IKV, yeah, I could think of better maps. But anyway, one thing we've noticed here is there's no light tanks in this game. So I figured I'd make a play here and sit in this position, extend my view range by boosting the food, and try and see if we could potentially light some tanks up. We do light some tanks up there. I'm sort of looking at how far away this tank is. I decided to take a little pot shot. I could have shot earlier, but I was a little bit worried about getting spotted. Wasn't quite sure. There's no bushes in the way between us. Could have knocked down that tree, I guess, to the left, but I just thought while I was here, let's take some shots and see if we can get any shots in. We do put a shot into that IS, but then he gets away. Now we've got this other IS which we managed to get a shot into, and this is a real nice start here. We've got all this damage that we can farm at the moment. Picked up a little bit of assist. Would have liked to have got a little bit more, but yeah, we have got some shots in. Can we finish this IS off? We don't. We just low roll there, which is really unfortunate, but we might be able to get the kill shot. Lining up the shot, and we do get the kill shot there, picking up our first kill of the game. And we were up to 1100 damage, 1k assist, which is, you know, a really good start. The only problem I can see is the majority of our team have gone to the left hand side, and the right hand side is looking a little bit slim. Kind of feel like as well that, you know, that's kind of it. We've kind of lit up what we can for this side. So I'm thinking about perhaps moving, and I'm wondering if, just trying to see, we can see this enemy tank destroyer has been lit up, so we do get a shot in there. Going to try and see if we can perhaps line up another shot. For some reason though, completely misjudged my shot. That was the worst shot ever. Then I dirt the ground, and at this point I'm just kind of like thinking, oh god, what the hell am I doing here? So we could have finished off that tank destroyer if we actually aimed properly, but that was for some reason, I don't know why, that was just really bad aiming on my part. But now I'm going to focus on some tanks on the bridge there. We get a shot into the Borsig. We don't get lit up, which is really nice. Might be able to squeeze another shot in there. We do manage to damage his engine. I'm hoping that we can get another shot in, because this is quite a dangerous tank. But then the Borsig just drives off. Unfortunately, doesn't allow us to get the kill shot in. We do get a shot into the T28 Pro. I'm just being careful because I don't want to sort of get lit here. And if I do, then I can just sort of move into cover. We did get spotted there and targeted. I'm not sure what by. It must have been something on the hill again. Again, try and focus on this T28 Pro. Unfortunately, I just spoofed my shot there, and then I get shot by the 112. And again, some dodgy aiming really has cost me in this game. which isn't great. Now, looking at the minimap, I've noticed that we're pretty much losing both flanks, and particularly on our right hand flank there. You can see that our tank destroyer is going to get taken out, and lo and behold, our friendly tank destroyer does. But what I'm going to do here is, well, what I should have done was got set up into a position where I could get cross shots from this side, and I think that's what I've just sort of changed my mind as to. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I noticed this one shot, 112. Unfortunately, I missed my shot, but the Panzerjäger doesn't miss there. Now I'm going to see if I can line up a shot on this medium tank. I do get a shot, but it just hits his track. Might be able to squeeze another shot in there, which I do, putting him down to a one shot. But now we've got no more targets to shoot at, which is a bit of a shame. I was kind of hoping to sort of make the most or a little bit more of that situation. But now we notice this SU crossing. Unfortunately, we get lit up. Not the SU, sorry, the Italian tank destroyer. And that Italian tank destroyer is a one shot, and he just gets out of dodge there before we can get a shot off to kill him. There's been a lot of one shots that we've missed here, which on reflection, we may have changed the state of the game if we'd sort of managed to get these shots off and get these kill shots off a lot quicker. Now what I'm going to do here is see our friendly tank destroyer is getting squeezed by two enemy tank destroyers, so I'm going to swing round to the bridge here and I'm try and see if I can take out this one shot Italian tank destroyer, and I'm just lining up the shot, just trying to see if I can squeeze the shot in, and I do get lit for it, but I do manage to get that shot in, taking that tank destroyer out. I'm trying to see if we can potentially get another shot into the other enemy tank destroyers there, but unfortunately not. Now you can see that this game is pretty much done. There's only me and a friendly tank destroyer left, and yeah, it's kind of a foregone conclusion, which is a shame really, because I was kind of hoping that we could pull this game back slightly. I just think, let's say, a few dodgy shots from me and a little bit of hesitancy has kind of cost the game on this one, and there's not really much I can do here. I'm going to move in, I'm going to try and support a friendly tank destroyer if possible, but unfortunately he gets taken out, and yeah, it's just, well, just me left. Unfortunately, do get a shot into this T28 Prot. Going to try and see if we can squeeze another shot in. We do, but unfortunately that's the end of the road. The T28 Prot manages to get shot off. There's not really much more I could have done there. Perhaps I could have, I don't know, I don't really see how I could have played that better, to be honest. Problem with Mountain Pass, it's a very much a big corridor map. It's a corridor map basically. It's not big, it's just quite a tight corridor map, so it's difficult to make any plays. But you know, we get 3.6k damage there. We picked up just over 1100 assistance. We got a first class there. Had that been a win, more than likely would have got the ace for that game, but like I say, there's not much I could have done to change the course of that battle. But yeah, so anyway, moving on to the third and final replay, and we've left the best till last, and we are on Procarovka. So a really nice open map for us to kind of, you know, flex the tank, so to speak, make it work. You notice there's no light tanks either, so another opportunity for me to potentially get some spot assist here. But we are mid tier, so you know, I'm thinking I'm not going to play too aggressive, because you know, there's going to probably be some tier 8 mediums. You can see the Mantis there. The Mantis got very good view range, so I'm probably not going to be able to outspot that Mantis, and that's something to sort of keep in the back of my mind to try and get shots onto. Taking out light tanks or tanks with very good view range on Procarovka is pretty much a priority if you want to win the game, because if you take out the Rise, then there's not much they can do. Get a shot into the Hydra, but only hit his track and don't actually track him in place, so a bit of a frustrating shot there. But we do see the CDC black, and we know we're going to penetrate that, no problem. It does take a blind shot over here, so I'm just being careful. I'm just moving back. Don't want to make where I shoot obvious. I'm just, yeah, like I say, moving out of position in case I get blind fired. Do put a blind fire into that Hellcat ourselves. Now we're going to focus on this Black Prince here that is giving us his bottom plate. He gets into cover, so now I'm just going to see if I can potentially get some shots into the side of the tanks on the ridge. Unfortunately, we don't have the penetration to hit that Hydra. Go for the Mantis, but we bounce off the turret of the Mantis because, yeah, reasons. Actually, I actually do bounce the Mantis quite a lot like that, which really annoys me because it's such a strong tank as it is. The fact that you bounce the turret because it's T69 turret, it can do that. It's really frustrating. I hate it. It's just it shouldn't have that good a turret armor. To be fair, in my opinion, it should be a little bit weaker, but it is what it is. We live with it. But we get some shots in anyway. Around 1600 damage, and there's still 13 tanks available, so there's a lot of damage to be had. Try and sneak a shot into that VK there, but we do get lit, so I'm just going to move, get out there. You can see the great power to weight and the mobility of the tank means we can get out really quickly, and we don't take any damage, which is good. And we're just going to rinse and repeat, just move back into position, get behind the bushes to increase our concealment, and just try and see what shots we can get off. Now I'm wanting to possibly push a little bit further down to try and spot up the one line here, because I know there's going to be some more tanks at the back there, but I want to try and get a shot into this Hydra, which I do. And yeah, I might be able to squeeze another one in, but he's just backing up quite a bit, so unfortunately it doesn't work. I see the side of the Mantis, but then he goes unspotted, so I'm not going to risk taking the shot. Only want to be taking clear shots if I can, just because I'll get spotted otherwise if I just take shots randomly. This is the one thing you've got to be careful of with proc, is making sure you don't get spotted as soon as you get shot. You need to make sure that the shot is clear and it's going to pen, otherwise if it doesn't and you get lit and you get your health points taken out, then it makes it pointless, doesn't it? It doesn't make for a good trade. Now you notice the gun elevation isn't great on the IKV, so I was sort of backed up on the ridge there, needing my gun elevation, and it just wasn't really working out. So we've moved up, and we do manage to light up artillery there, and we get a shot into him, trying to see if I can potentially get another shot in, but unfortunately some bad aiming there. He just gets behind some cover and we take the shot, and it doesn't hit, and then he gets out of our view range there, so goes unspotted. Trying to see if I can get another shot on the Mantis, but again that gun elevation just isn't working for us. But we do spot that E25, and I decided to just stop for a little while and take that shot. I just didn't hesitate, but just stopped slightly because I wanted to sneak the shot in. The E25 is a strong tank, similar to the IKV. It's sort of a stealthy TD, probably better stealth than the IKV, I think. So yeah, it would just end up being a pain. We get properly spotted all the time, so I just thought that's the time to take it out. I had that opportunity and I took it. So now we're going to move up the one line because we're kind of taking map control now. I do get a shot into artillery, but I do get lit for it, and we take a shot from, I believe, the Mantis. It puts us on to 300 hit points. Tried snapping a shot into artillery there, but obviously on the move it's very dubious that it's going to hit. Now we see the SU-100 who does get taken out real quick, and yeah, I'm kind of feeling like this game is starting to swing in our favour. We get a shot into CDC Black there, we do get spotted, but I do manage to sneak a shot in, and then he gets taken out. We pick up a little bit of assistance for that. I don't know if I managed to get a shot into that Hummel, but I did pick up some assistance for it, which is quite good. And I'm going to move up. I'm going to try and see if we can spot this Hummel again and just get rid of that Hummel. I fortunately snapped the shot there and it just hits him in the track. Going to let the gun aim in. Unfortunately, Tiger 2 manages to take him out before we get our shot off. And then we see the Hydra, and now the Hydra's just disappeared. That's quite frustrating. And then just as I move forward, he reappears again, and yeah, we do get a shot into the side of the Hydra. I'm hoping we can possibly take him out here. So line up the shot, and we do manage to pick up our second kill again. That's quite a big kill there on that Hydra. And there's only 3 tanks left, so we need to move in and try and see if we can get any more shots or at least any more assistance. Racing over there. We've got the good mobility. We're still keeping the KV2 lit, and artillery's putting some shots in, which is really good. We see one tank is by our base, and then there's this medium tank that is in the middle. I'm hoping I can sort of come up here and catch the KV2 out off guard, and we get a shot in. We've got a bush in between us, so KV2's got terrible view range as well, so fortunately for us he can't spot us. It's nice you're running the derp gun either, that's real strange. He does manage to swing his gun around and hit us, which really is unfortunate. And there we go, we spoofed the shot. You have to take your time with these shots. You can't just go yeah, you can't just sort of go snapping shots, it just doesn't work. We're going to move up, going to aim the shot, but unfortunately Ragnarok gets there before we do. And yeah, there's only one tank left, and it's that enemy medium tank that's down near our spawn in that pond there. So we're going to move over, try and see if we can get some shots off. A little bit annoyed that I couldn't get the kill shot on that KV2. Would have liked to have picked up another kill there, but you know, isn't the end of the world. You know, you can see we got nearly 4k damage there, which is quite a nice feat in the IKV 90B. So picked up 2 kills, like I say, nearly 4k damage, 1800 assist, had a real nice, patient, strong game there, and we picked up the ace tanker and the high caliber. And that concludes the video for the IKV 90B, which, like I say, is a firm favourite of mine. I really enjoy this tank, and I just click with it. And yeah, if you haven't done the Swedish TD line yet, it's definitely worth a go, at least for this tank. The IKV 65 at tier 6 isn't that bad either. Most of the line, in all fairness, the whole line is pretty decent. So yeah, I fully recommend it. And yeah, if you have played this tank, you like it, you know, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the IKV and the Swedish line in general, you know, how you finding it. So yeah, and as always guys, thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe, because it does help the channel. And as always guys, I'll catch you next time.